Good afternoon. We're a minute late, but here we are. My remarks are going to be relatively short today because Sam is going to present the new Insider's Guide to us right after I finish. So I want to start by saying I think our meeting with the board went really, really well. I heard a lot of positive comments from you about that you know, your questions were great. The answers were honest and you know, just what we know now. You found out that not every question is answerable, and that's the nature of a big project like this that's going to take years to build and have many, many changes along the way. But you were told what the board knows now and what administration knows now, and I hope we have many more of those meetings. So that was really great. I want to remind you all that over a year ago, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, Ginny Stimson and the Low Vision Hearing Challenge group acquired some lights for the dining room, some table lights and some lights for menus. I've only seen them used once in this whole time, and that was the week they were delivered. And the waiters didn't know about them. I had to remind them. They had to ask Oliver where they were, finally found them, brought them out. But nobody seems to know they exist. And they're very, very useful. If you can't see the menu, especially now it's getting lighter out, so it's not so bad. But they do have lights that you can use. You have to ask for them. You have to tell the waiters that to ask Jeff or to ask Oliver or Yanni to find them because they're somewhere back there. And they were very useful, but you know, they just slipped through the cracks. So keep that in mind when you're in there. The Spring Fling was a great success, wasn't it? For those of you who came, the committee did a fabulous job, and everyone had so much fun that they want to do it again. So they're thinking of a Valentine's Day dance. Jennifer is the temporary chair. She would love someone to help or to take over because she has enough work with the market. But we do want to keep that up because there was great attendance. Not everybody danced, but everybody had a good time listening to the music and hanging out and watching the rest of us. Those of us who danced for like 2.5 to 3 hours, and we couldn't move that night. We were on the phone. Can you move your legs? No, I can't. So we're going to keep that up, and we're going to try to keep having some fun now. So now I would like to present Sam, who is going to present the Insider's Guide, which is, you're going to love it.
Well, thank you, Deanna. Today, the Welcoming Committee is distributing the brand new Horizon House and Insider's Guide. It will be our new guidebook for helping new residents get started here. This was the last project directed by our late friend and neighbor, Committee Chair Karen Lane. So this afternoon, I will briefly discuss the problem this new product is designed to solve. Next, I will present some slides to show you what the magazine looks like, and finally, to thank the many people who helped make this project possible. The problem requires a little bit of background. Karen and I co-chaired the Communications Committee throughout 2021. Toward the end of the year, we attended 2 focus groups sponsored by the marketing department. Newly arrived residents were asked about their move-in experience. Virtually all said too much information was dumped on them too fast. They did not use the new residents guidebook. Now, the guidebook was 62 pages single-space type, an encyclopedia of everything about Horizon House. Essentially, all the hard work that volunteers were investing in updating it every year was going to waste. Karen spotted the problem. She became chair of the welcoming committee with a plan to make the welcoming process more effective by making it more personal. When she moved in, she said what really helped her was one of the neighbors had 4 or 5 women in for tea on a Sunday afternoon, and they spent 2 to 3 hours talking about it. And she said, I got more out of that than any other thing that was done as I moved in. So her idea was to make the welcoming process much more personal and welcoming. She had an idea for a better guidebook. Karen envisioned a People's Magazine style guide. It would be personal, not institutional. Fun, colorful, written in a casual style. It would feature short, explanatory paragraphs, use lists and photos of residents. It would contain residents' voices, printed on slick, quality paper stock. The new guide would be different from, but compatible with, materials published by the administration. This new Insider's Guide would provide only important information needed now, at the time of moving in. Information unlikely to change over a 3-year period. For detailed information that needed regular updating, readers would be referred to hhconnect.org. Karen envisioned a high-quality product, well written by residents, but professionally designed and printed. She knew this would require funding not in the welcoming committee's budget. So she did research, consulted with Director of Marketing and Communications Joan Hudson, as well as CEO Erica Thrash-Saul, and prepared an application for an enrichment grant. She was asking for $7,000. Karen asked me to review her application, and I did, but it was letter perfect. We were awarded the grant, but thanks to some strong advice by Enrichment Grant Committee members Joan Singler and Marjorie Perdue, we committed to make the magazine readable for folks with sight challenges. All text would be a minimum of 14 point. Karen asked me to take on this project. Now, by the time she returned from her 3 weeks in Paris last fall, in early November, she was experiencing some health issues that eventually would be life-ending cancer. We enlisted several people to help, and Karen stayed engaged and took on some of the writing. By late March, we sent draft materials to the designer recommended by Joan, Krista Fleming. Now I'd like to show you a few slides. This is the cover that we took from the interim guidebook that shows 3 lovely women very actively engaged here at Horizon House. And I guess you can't read the whole quote there, but anyway, it's Paul Parham's quote that says, "We've retired from work, but have not retired from life." We built 2 pages called Did You Know, that we loaded with information that we learned people really needed to know when they moved in now. And Krista did a really nice job of organizing that and figuring out a place to put the picture of the cubbies. Well, we all know the engine room of Horizon House of our community is Monday Market. So Monday Market got a 2-page spread very early in the book, really to set the tone of what this community is about and to elevate the importance of the market itself. In all, the New Insider's Guide is 24 pages. It conveys important information, but we wanted this guide to put our community, our activities, our culture on full display in full color. And I think you'll see that when you have a chance to go through the book itself. 9 days before she died, Karen got to review, and she did it very carefully, the draft design. She gave it her seal of approval. We both felt good about the project, but knew that it took our village to make it happen. So I need to call out the people who contributed to it, the people who helped on it. Bob Corwin, Pat Graves, Jennifer Stucker, Jeff Townley, John Pound, Pam Daly, Judy Klein, Virginia McDermott, Jim Gale, Madge Hislop, Scott Lunke, Joan Hudson. And I got, I think, in response to an email I sent out asking for people to send me 1 or 2 lines about what they liked about Horizon House. I got over 40, and they were terrific. We had a challenge selecting the ones that we would put in the book. And of course, the people who let me run around with my camera taking pictures and stuff that appear in the book. Now, while I've been making this presentation, a copy of the New Insider's Guide is being placed in your cubby. And we're giving this out to all residents for 2 reasons. Number 1, we want to use it as a refresher for all of us, all at once, now, because we think it really represents who we are, what we do, why we do it, and just a way to sort of put it in front of us. But secondly, if any of you have tried to explain Horizon House to family and friends, you know how difficult that is. And that's because it's just not that simple. We can say it's a great place to live, we have great people here and all of that, but what does it mean? Well, I think what you'll see in this guide is it's something that you can show to your family, give to somebody, give as a referral to somebody who's interested in here, and it will tell you about us and the warp and weft of our community. So that's the presentation. I thank you for your attention, and I hope you'll enjoy the New Insider's Guide. Thank you. And now I am to call up Christy Seymour. And here she is.
Thank you. Am I doing that? There we go. All right. Well, I am not Erica. As you can see, Erica is out. She had her daughter's graduation in Massachusetts this weekend, so congratulations to her daughter. And she is this week in Michigan helping her parents pack up their home, getting ready for sale. So just want to go through a few things, some bright spots that we've seen recently. The Earth Day week that we had, there were some wonderful events. I was able to attend a couple of them. I know Erica did too. So thank you for all of you who helped put some of those events on, because that was a really nice events for a lot of us to be able to get our hands into that whole sustainability piece. Also, Retirement Community Week. How many of you enjoyed Retirement Community Week last week? Yeah, I saw on Monday there was some wearing costumes. Unfortunately, I had jury duty, so I was not able to participate, but I did, was here Monday, and I was able to see the talent show on Friday, but I heard a lot of great things about it. The bake sale, which you probably know raises funds for the Employee Emergency Fund, that raised $760 for this particular fundraising effort. And I'll just say that that fund is only raised through those kinds of events, so it's really nice to see that participation. On our West Tower, you probably know that we started taking reservation deposits as of April 1st, so technically we are 36 days into the process if you're just counting weekdays. And we had, as of yesterday, 34 deposits. So doing pretty well, good start. We don't know that that trend is going to continue at such a fast pace as it did in the first month or so. We can hope, but we'll see how that goes. As you know, we are looking for 142 deposits. That's 70% of the 202 units before we can go to financing, and we're hoping to get that number by September of 2025. So we still have some time. I also want to mention that in the library, we've put in a binder for the West Tower. It's some of the marketing material that we're sharing with our prospective residents, has pricing and that kind of thing. So if you're interested, you can look at that in the library. Master planning, you've probably seen out here by the library, there's kind of some closed off walls. That has to do with the assisted living amenity space project. They're having to do some work through the ceiling there, so that'll just be temporary. But the project's underway. If you want to see what it looks like behind the walls that are on second and third floor, there are pictures up on those walls that you can look at to see kind of what it looks like behind the walls. They are starting to frame, so they've done the demolition and now they're starting to put the walls up, so that's exciting. That will go on through the summer. So hopefully by, I think, hopefully early August, we should have that new area open, so it'll be fun to see what's gone up there. Erica wanted me to share, you know, she's been here, what, 9 months or so, maybe 10, something like that. She wanted to go tour Park Shore and Skyline because she hears a lot about it. We get compared to them a lot, so she wanted to go take a tour. So a couple of us, the leadership team members, went over to Park Shore and had a tour over there, met their executive director, and then came over to Skyline, met with their executive director, and they both gave us a tour of their campuses. So she got a better feel of what our competitors are doing. Totally different feel than what we are here at Horizon House, and you know, we're very proud of it. I will say that the gentleman, David Knight, who is one of the developers for Transforming Age, both of those communities are part of Transforming Age. He then came to Horizon House and toured Horizon House, so we were able to impress him with what we have. In the sales department, maybe I should have mentioned this with the West Tower piece, but in the sales department, we do have a new sales manager. Her name is Anita Danielson. She started last week. So if you see her around, is she here? Oh, there she is. She's in the back. Welcome, Anita. You want to stand up so folks can get a good look at you? There you are. Welcome, Anita. And we're also in the process of interviewing for a new sales director. So that's ongoing, and we have a few interviews set up for that. I heard Deanna mention it earlier, but the feedback that Erica and I have received about the board format that took place earlier this month, really positive feedback. So we are definitely going to take that into advisement as we plan out future board members, or future board meetings, I'm sorry. I think that worked really well, and hopefully everybody agreed with that. I think that was a much better format than we've had in the past. And lastly, just want to make sure that everybody knows we had at the last board meeting, Bill Roach and Sean McMahon, who's our chief engineer, did a presentation on sustainability. And at the end of the presentation, they asked the board if they would approve the sustainability as a value for Horizon House, and the board did approve that. So one of our new values is sustainability, and we're happy that is part of it. And just lastly, a reminder about the fireside chat. Next one is on Friday, May 31st at 10 a.m. right here. So hope to see some of you here. That's it. And now for Karen.
Minutes. Minutes of the April 16th meeting were circulated, corrected, and recirculated. And if there are no other comments and corrections, they stand approved.
How do I get a new, do I hit it? What's that? I'm trying to make this move on. Oh, okay, thanks.
I've been involved with a lot of organizations, usually as treasurer over my life. And what is so unique about this is there are so many people involved in raising the money that we get to work with. And there are so many people who are carefully spending the money and creating amazing programming. And I think you all deserve a great deal of thanks. And from my perspective, I've said it before, but it is really quite overwhelming. We're doing very well. We had anticipated a deficit for the year, so we're okay. And we are going. There's a few committees through changes in circumstances to a large extent. Are going to be asking for more money in their budget, and the budget committee will be meeting in June to approve that. But all in all, things are going well in terms of our finances, and I appreciate that. So thank you all. And now you will have Jennifer.
Hello, everyone. Since the last Monday market report, the earnings have been a total deposit of $8,096.81. The sales tax, $759.42. And the net sales, $7,937.39. Employee purchases have totaled over $1,000 for that time period. So the days are getting longer and warmer. The Monday market is responding with its inventory. But it also seems that our 9 to 3 hour competition is increasing. More Horizon House programs to attend, inviting outdoor activities, and vacation travel. So we're wanting to encourage you to visit the Monday market and buy things. Cold weather clothing donations are building beyond our storage capacity. But many thanks to Brian Holtz for helping us to deal with the problem. And I have now a West Wing apartment that is filled with clothes. Community Week was fun to sell different kinds of costumes to meet the different each day's emphasis, and it was fun to clothe Brian for his MC excursion. He came in that morning saying, "I need a suit." And 2 models will model Monday market clothing during this Sunday's lunch. And as always, our gratitude to our many volunteers who make it all happen. Next Monday, May 27th, will be a selected clothing and furniture clearance. So come take advantage of the great deals. Thank you. And now Drew Rothrock will talk about the pool.
is the pool you do with a stick. Oh yeah, not this? No. Hello. Let's see. There we go. We have been pretty active playing pool for the last year or so, and we have a group of about 8 or 10 who are pretty enthusiastic. We have a motto: if you like people and your brain likes geometry, you'll love pool. Here's our web page with contact information. We have down on the cabinet at the pool table a list of players. If you want to get on that list, please add your name and email, and you'll get weekly or roughly weekly invitations to whatever's going on. You can call someone on that list for more information, or me, and you can also get a short introductory lesson from many of us. There are some instructional books in the cabinet by the cues. We have put a sign down there to ask people to take good care of the equipment, because pool is a little different from ping pong. The cues are expensive, the balls are expensive, getting the table recovered is expensive. So we ask not to just send the 4-year-olds down and tell them to have fun and stay out of your hair for the afternoon. There are some short cues down there for the kiddies or for short people. Only the cue ball should be struck with a cue. It has a chalk mark. It marks the ball, so you shouldn't ever strike the colored balls, the stripes and solids. Only the cue ball. And of course, food and drink should be kept away from the table. We cover it up when there's an event down there that involves food. On the website, there are a few links, 4 links, to little videos of a few minutes each that show you certain technique issues, like how to use how to hold the cue with your cue hand, which for most of us is right, how to brace the tip of the cue with your left hand, how to make a stroke, and and just generally how to get you started in the technique. These are experienced players who would, any of whom would be very happy to give you a quick lesson. I'll let you read some of those people. The last entry there is Bob and Stuart Anderson. Well, Bob was running the pool table before he no longer could do it, but he still comes down occasionally along with his son Stuart. And if you catch them down there, it's really fun because they're quite good. They are the best pool players in the crowd. We get together weekly, 2 to 4 on Wednesdays, but there are many other afternoons, especially when a few folks will show up and play some pool. You can drop in and just join in. We don't reserve the table. You just show up and wait your turn and play. We play games like 8-ball and other games like that, switching players in and out. So you spend your time chatting with people who are watching or playing. I think that's it. We're a very laid-back collegial group. No criticism, always helpful. Whoever's shooting might get some helpful tips from their opponent in that game. It's very pleasant. So please come join in. That's it. Thanks. And next is Ann Kelly.
Thank you. Well, we had an interesting burning question offered to us last week or last month, and you may be interested in it. The question was as follows. Approximately how many gallons of chocolate explosion ice cream is served in the terrace dining room per month? And the answer from Jeff Townsley was, we're estimating 60 gallons a month. You might want to rethink your dessert orders.
She's thinking of that ice cream. Want some left for her. I might recommend Moose Track too. That's also very good. Oh, salted caramel is okay. Yes, there's a new dessert section on the menu, on the printed menu. It's not, yeah.
Which is near the breakfast section, but it is not served at breakfast. It is, here it is. Too many papers here. Yes, it's on the back of the bistro page, the dessert menu, which gives the ice creams, and the dessert of the week, which this week, beginning Sunday, is lemon meringue pie. Last week it was chocolate mousse and was delicious.
Thank you, Doris. Okay, I think we're done with our programs. A really short meeting today. Too bad it's not sunny, so you could all go out and enjoy the weather. So do any of you have any questions? Plenty of time for questions. Back there, Coco, in the back.
Perhaps this is repetitious, but during the the Board of Trustees meeting, or at any meeting with them, has anyone asked the question of what plans are in effect for when the destruction of the West Wing starts and then the building of the West Tower, for what they will do for an outdoor space for congeniality, picnics, or whatever for all of us? Has it been discussed?
Those plans are being put off till towards the end of the year. Specifically, though, they have not discussed outdoor space. They've discussed more the activity rooms and what can be done with them. No solutions have been found yet. They will be working on them. But no, I don't recall, George, do you recall any discussion of outdoor space? No, that hasn't been brought up. So perhaps at the next meeting, either George or I will bring that up. I think B1 will still be available, the outside B1 area, for at least, no? You're saying no, Coke? Huh? I know they're going to extend it, but I don't think that, it may not be affected right away. It may take years before that gets done. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if they're going to extend it or destroy it first. I have no idea, to tell you the truth.
Do any of our competitors offer espresso explosion ice cream?
I appoint you, Bill, to go to each one and survey the desserts.
I'm going to tell them not to.
Any other questions? No? Well, in that case, the meeting's adjourned.